3 years later. Oh my gosh, you guys, can you believe it's been 3 years since Stranger Things Season 4 came out?
I mean, we've literally had entire series come out in the time it took to release Season 5. Anyways, nearly a decade past the release of its first episodes, the final season of Stranger Things is finally here. And wow, Part 1 has left me with some serious questions. Let's dive into what Season 5, Part 1 has taught us about Vecna, Hawkins, and the Upside Down, and more importantly, what it tells us about Part 2. Okay, so before we dive into what happened in Season 5, Part 1, let's quickly recall where Season 4 left off. The gang fights Vecna head-on in the Upside Down in an attempt to save Max and put a stop to Vecna's plan to take over the world for good. Nancy, Steve, and Robin enter Vecna's lair, manage to set him on fire, shooting him repeatedly. At last, Vecna tumbles out a window, falling to his death. That is, until the trio makes their way outside, where his body is nowhere to be found. Limbs completely shattered by Vecna, Max dies, and as she does, rifts begin to form in the fabric of reality, bringing the Upside Down into the world above. Thankfully, Elle's powers bring Max back to the world of the living. Just barely. She remains in a deep coma even into Season 5. 2 days later, the gang returns to Hawkins, where 22 people have been killed by a deadly earthquake, aka the rift in reality. Eddie, who is assumed to be dead, is still greatly hated by the town of Hawkins, blamed for Vecna's string of murders. Max remains in a coma, Hopper reunites with Elle, and Will, just before the season ends, confirms our worst fears, that Vecna is in fact alive, but he is hurt. And that's where Season 4 left us. Be honest, did you guys need the refresher? Because I did. Alright guys, I admittedly had to watch the full recap of the previous season before diving into the new one. But afterwards, we got a glimpse of what young Will Byers, who appeared to be recasted by the way, endured after entering the Upside Down for the first time, all those years ago. We watch as he's ruthlessly pursued and eventually captured by a Demogorgon, who brings him to the feet of none other than Vecna. At long last, we can begin, he says, and we fast forward to the present day, or 1987. Remember the end of Season 4 where it looked like Hawkins and the Upside Down were finally merging as one? Well, turns out the government put a, as Robin likes to call it, giant metal band-aid on top of the abyss, keeping it at bay. For now. There's also a military access control zone which guards the primary opening to the Upside Down. I mean, for how massive this merging looked in Season 4, I was a bit skeptical of the giant metal band-aid thing, but I digress. What did y'all think about that? What's the gang's next step? To find Vecna in the Upside Down and kill him once for all. They've managed to sneak into the Upside Down at least 30 times or so and cover a good amount of ground searching for him. But it's just not enough. Yet again, Hopper must make his way into Vecna's territory to track him down. But of course, things don't go quite as planned this time around. We already knew Vecna wasn't really defeated in Season 4, so him returning for Season 5 to seek revenge on Hawkins, Elle, and the rest of the gang wasn't shocking. Let's get into what we can expect for the last half of Season 5 based on what we know from Part 1. I know for a fact you Harry Potter fans are thinking what I'm thinking. Will Byers? Yeah, for lack of better words, he is 100% one of Vecna's Horcruxes. For those of you who aren't Harry Potter fans, here's a little explanation. Big bad in Harry Potter is Voldemort. His soul is broken up into 7 little pieces, which Harry and his friends must find and destroy in order to kill Voldemort for good. The only problem, Harry ends up being one of the Horcruxes, so he must die in order to kill Voldemort. See where I'm going with this? Because part of Voldemort's soul is inside Harry, Harry can see what Voldemort sees, hear what he hears, feel what he feels, etc. Same with Will. Throughout Season 5, Part 1, we learn that Will is essentially one of Vecna's Horcruxes, the little piece of his soul. Is this officially confirmed? Not necessarily, but let's take a look at the evidence. Will sees through a Demogorgon's eyes, Vecna's victim's eyes, Holly and Derrick, and through Vecna's eyes. He's not just a part of the hive mind, he's a part of Vecna. After all, why would his receiver, a term coined by Robin, be based so heavily on his proximity to Vecna? I need you guys to hear me out because I know this isn't confirmed, but by looking at the facts and a bit at Harry Potter, I think it's safe to say that Will have to die in Season 5, Part 2. But the real catch? I don't think it's only Will who will have to die in order to stop Vecna. I think it's all of his victims. In a way, they're all connected. Holly, Derrick, Will, and all the children we saw in Vecna's lair. The icing on the cake? When Vecna said, "Some minds do not belong in this world. They belong in mine." Harry Potter fans, please come to my rescue here. Do you see the correlation? What is through the wall? We learned that on the other side of the wall, Holly and Vecna's other victims are being held captive. We see them through Will's visions, connected to the hive mind, as Will once was all those years ago. However, we also learn that Holly, Max, and who knows who else are trapped inside Henry's memories. If I had to guess, the inside of the wall is kind of like stepping inside of Vecna's mind, and at the center is Hawkins' lab. Why is Vecna collecting kids on the exact same day as he kidnapped Will? Just like Lucas said, there are no coincidences. At least, he doesn't believe in them anymore. So why this day? Is there some significance to it? Perhaps the day he was branded #1 by Papa? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this little detail isn't brought up again. Maybe it was brought up just to provide insight into when Vecna would be kidnapping Derrick. Alright guys, was anyone else a bit disappointed that it was Elle's sister, number 8, behind the mysterious steel door? I mean, the whole time we're expecting Vecna, and then out of nowhere, we get the return of a character from one of the worst rated episodes in the series. It was unexpected, to say the least. So while we do know who was waiting behind the steel door, we don't really know why she's being kept there by the government. Let's take a look at what we do know. The government wants to capture Elle, right? Is it possible they wanted to use Elle and number 8's powers to help fight Vecna, and then afterwards, use the powers for themselves? That's my best guess. Perhaps the biggest question yet. Why won't Vecna enter the cave seen in his memory? The cave walls clearly resemble the walls seen in the Upside Down. So what's the big deal? Could he have some unresolved trauma with the cave? Possibly something that would explain his ultimate plan? I have so many questions, but one thing is obvious. This cave is important, and it will without a doubt come up in Season 5's second half. Guys, there's so much I can say about Part 1 of the final season of Stranger Things. I mean, to have a show be off air for 3 years and return as strong as ever, it's impressive. I was expecting a bit of a drop-off in quality, but I have to admit, the same magic from the first 4 seasons remains in this one, and I found myself diving right back into the world of Hawkins and the mysteries, like those 3 years never happened. I seriously cannot wait until December 25 when the next 3 episodes premiere, and New Year's Eve when we'll get to see how it all ends. What did you think of Season 5 Part 2? Was it hard to jump back in after so many years? Did you rewatch the first 4 seasons before diving back in? What was your favorite moment from the new season so far? And finally, what questions are you hoping will be answered in Season 5's second half? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more theories just like these. Thanks again for watching ScreenRant, and I'll see you in the next one.